Okay, so there's literally no better time to start than now. So here we are. I'm not fancy. I didn't take a shower today. Got my hair up. I cleaned a house today, a vacation rental, and here we are because we are not putting this off any longer. We are going to start. And if you don't know, my name is Trista Custer. I'm 40 years old. I'm divorced. I have no kids. Right now, it's just me and my dog. And I live in a little town in southern Utah currently at the moment. It's like 4,600 people that live here. I have all the things to tell you about all the stuff I've already done in my life, but now is not the episode that we're going to do that. Um, Slowly we'll work some of that stuff in and you will learn more about me. But one of the goals is that we talk about things that most people don't want to talk about. Or, like in my case, my mother pretty much just avoided or didn't have any conversations with me about. So, period health, hormone health, mental health, sexual health, physical health, um, they all are tied together. And so that's why we need to start having conversations about them. So, um, yeah, I mean, there's so much. So a while back, I read this book called The Tao of Sexology. It's not in print anymore in the United States. I had to buy a used version of it. And when I first started dating after I got divorced, one of the guys that I dated told me about this book. He said that his dad gave it to him when he was 19. And uh, it I should have read it sooner, but it took me a little while. I bought the copy of the book and I read it, and here we are. So, trying to keep the glare off my glasses, but anyways, um right now, so this book talks about men and women's sexual health and how to exercise your sexual organs, things like natural birth control, semen retention, menstrual cessation, naturally, like by choice, without any drugs or hormones or anything like that. I started taking birth control when I was 17. I took it until I was 37. As soon as my ex-husband and I separated, quit taking birth control. I knew for several years I wanted to get off birth control. He said he was going to get a vasectomy, but he wouldn't. And so as soon as I knew that that relationship was ending, I quit birth control. So now I've been spending the last 3.5 years trying to reset my hormones and get like things back in order. I got my periods back regularly, but as you can see, I like have the acne of like a 17-year-old. Um, Partly I've been experimenting with my food, like what I've been eating. For a long time I didn't eat any dairy. I kind of had tried to see how that would work. So I think that's a contributing factor to this at the moment. But back to the book real quick. There's a deer exercise. It's for men and women. There's a separate one for each one. I've been practicing the deer exercise since around September, for sure daily since October. It says to do, you basically massage your breast in rotational patterns, which we'll talk more about this in depth in another episode. But and then do pelvic floor exercises. So the combination of those two movements, you do rotations for 36 to 360 times twice. The book says twice a day, I think, but I've read in a couple other books too that corroborate what this book has said. You can do it up to 3 times a day. I don't know. It's an experiment. So I am currently doing 360 rotations twice a day, and then I do the pelvic floor exercises 13 times and I hold it for 13, count to 13 each time. I have not successfully stopped my period naturally yet, but I have gone down from 6 days to 2.5 days. So my last period last month only lasted for 2.5 days. My period symptoms are minimal. I mean, except for like the acne, but I think there's some hormone underlying issues there. I don't necessarily think it's related to the deer exercise. Um, but ideally, what the book says is that the deer exercise helps you, your menstruation is a female version of her life force energy. For a male, it's a semen. That's why semen retention is important. But basically, by naturally maintaining that blood and nutrients that you normally would excrete during your period, you should become more healthy and your sexual organs will become more healthy as well. So I also am doing it because at this point I'm probably way more fertile now than I was ever in my life when I was taking birth control. I'm not planning to get pregnant anytime soon. I mean, I would have to meet someone that I'd actually want to have children with for that to happen. And man, the dating world is freaking crazy out there. But I'm working on it. I'm putting myself out there. I'm looking for the one. So more on that too. I will keep you updated on some crazy dating. But I uh the goal too with naturally causing cessation of the period, which is stopping your period, is to that it the book says that that has was used as a form of natural birth control for thousands of years. So I'm basically testing it to see if by stopping my period, I will also stop ovulation for that time being. And then it says when you want to get pregnant, you just stop doing the deer exercise. So this is going to be like a journal slash update on how it's going. Obviously, I started a few months ago. I didn't track the progress or anything at that time, but I know that like I need to start talking about it. I need to tell people about it. The biggest thing when I read the book was, why didn't anyone tell me about this stuff? Why? And I know like pharmaceutical companies and the drug companies and the healthcare industry has probably had a lot to do with why this book is no longer in print. Because if everyone knew about this information, we wouldn't need we wouldn't need birth control, we wouldn't need a whole bunch of shit. So much power would be given back to the woman. And it's a simple exercise you do from the comfort of your bed. I literally do it when I wake up in the morning and I do it at night before I go to bed. So as soon as I'm done with this and I get everything shut off, I will do the exercise and then go to sleep. So my period if I look on the tracker, it's supposed to start sometime this week, I believe. So I will see. I did not start doing 360 rotations twice a day. It is like you literally have your arms up like this the whole time. So it is like an arm workout, shoulder, arms. I started with like 40 rotations and that was once a day and I worked up to that. But then progressively as I started seeing changes in my period, in terms of how long it was lasting and how I was feeling during my period, it seemed to be working, so I kept increasing the rotation so that now I'm at the like full amount that the book recommends. And it says that once you get your period to stop, you can lessen or do like 100 rotations. But I think also since I've worked up to that, I don't know that I really want to go less. I will keep you posted. So that's the deer exercise. It is supposed to help reduce cysts, fibroids, endometriosis, anything related to your uterus. It is supposed to help with that. So I, I kind of avoid the doctor at all costs unless there's really something wrong. So I do know that I have fibrous tissue in my breasts. I've had some lumps in the past, like measured and checked before. I did one that's like pretty prominent that the last time I had it checked, they said there was no cancerous cells in it, but I know exactly where it is. Before I started the deer exercise, it did seem like it was maybe getting a little bigger, which I think is a lot related to what my diet was at the time. But now that I've been doing the deer exercise on a regular basis, it is definitely getting smaller. So that's exciting. I should go get it measured so that I can give you the exact specifics. But in the meantime, that's also another benefit that I am noticing changes actually in my breast tissue from doing the deer exercise. So my goal in talking about this is that no women should hopefully we can help more women avoid having to have hysterectomies or their uterus removed or any part of their sexual hormone, like sexual organs, because that will literally throw off the balance of your hormones. This book is really good information about like the glands and how they're all tied together and how they're a delicate balance system. Um, yeah, it was just really an eye opener and it kind of like really propelled me forward into wanting to learn more about this, but not just learn more about it, but freaking tell other people about it. Like I was like, this should be our sex education course. Like we shouldn't be, oh, it's just so crazy, but it makes sense, because our society is revolving around money and the healthcare system, well, not healthcare, the sick care system. And if you look at a lot of things, it all leads to money, and especially the money that the pharmaceutical company is able to invest in things to make sure that we stay sick and not get healthy. So, my ultimate goal is to help people get healthier. I quit drinking alcohol. It's been 4 years. I quit drinking on 12/31 of 20. So that's another thing. Like, all the things that it's not you can't just do one thing. You can try to do one thing that will help. It can make a big dent. But once you do one, like if you can quit alcohol in this glorified society where it is like glorified, you can do anything. So you just keep chipping away at it just like that. But um oh, the other thing that I wanted to talk about real quick. I'm going to try to keep these short and sweet. They're going to be random. Like some days I might be at my desk, some days I might be in my bed. Other days I might be walking around in the middle of nature because that's what I do. But I started a 30-day parasite and metal detox cleanse. I'm gonna also use this to document. I'm hoping that will help reset some of my hormones, clear out who knows what's going on. But it has this pretty strict suggested recommended foods that you eat. So no sugar, no alcohol, no carbs, no gluten. Well, not no carbs, no gluten. No meat, no dairy. So today I had some plain oatmeal with unsweetened coconut milk, like from a can, like the actual coconut milk, not like silk or anything like that, with some honey, cinnamon, and strawberries for breakfast. And I also had pineapple for breakfast. I've been chugging water all day. It says to increase your water intake. I think this is my third, maybe my fourth. And this is 26 ounces. So I will plan to finish that one at least before I go to bed. And then the cleanse was cost me about $100. 125 with shipping, I think it was. Um I noticed they do have some sales now that I'm on their web or their email list. You can find lots of people that have codes for it on Instagram if you want to get a discount, whatever. Once we get into this more and I can give more details on it, then I will like if you want the information of what the cleanse is, I will gladly send that to you. But basically, it's some small tinctures. It's a herbal based remedies, and you put some drops of the tinctures in. You can just put it in your mouth. You can put it in water. I've been putting it in I drink a nitrous oxide supplement in the morning and in the evening. So since I was already doing that twice a day, I just figured it would be easy to put it in there and drink it. But you take the cleanse 3 times a day. So when you wake up, 4 hours later and another 4 hours later, but it's supposed to be on an empty stomach the whole time. Um, so this is day one. I just started. Oh, and then for dinner, I wasn't really hungry throughout the day. Like I said, I ate pretty late this morning, probably like 11. Yeah, it was like around 11 when I ate. And then I started cleaning the vacation rental that I cleaned for. And when I got home, I had a Kundalini energy facilitating practice. So you don't normally eat before energy healing sessions. So I waited and then I made dinner afterwards. I made a huge pot, like stir fry pot of minced garlic, shallots, some olive oil, browned those up, and then I did a bunch of mushrooms, and then I did I have like the bags of steamed vegetables like the California blends, so broccoli, carrots, and cauliflower. And then I chopped up some zucchini. So I cooked all that in the pot together, and then I made 2 boxes of chickpea pasta. And then so I have food now to eat for several days. I'm just gonna eat the same thing for a couple days and see how it goes. But I put the chickpea pasta in a bowl, added some olive oil, and then I added some black and green olives, some spinach, and then I put the warm vegetable mixture on top of that. So I ate a whole bowl of it. I didn't weigh anything. I'm not hungry right now. I don't think I'll wake up hungry. Um, but I can eat that for lunch and dinner if I'm hungry and need to eat, more than just the 2 meals. I just have been on a 2 meal system for a couple weeks now. I just tend to eat a large breakfast, like not large, but protein heavy, and healthy fat heavy breakfast. So we will see. I'm not sure exactly what all of the different side effects are going to be. Hopefully we don't have anything too crazy. I'm not sure what all exactly will come out. But after the 30 days, I hope I feel a lot better. It is recommended that you do this cleanse 2 to 3 times a year. So I will definitely see how I feel afterwards. And then I'm already thinking about possibly finding ways to incorporate some of the herbs that are already in it into a regular routine. I'm trying not to take a lot of supplements. I'm trying to not take a lot of like protein powder, not take a lot of processed foods. So I'm really going to try to commit for this next 30 days to basically eating fruit and vegetables, staying within the food guidelines. So if you have more questions, I can also post like the recommended food list. I'm trying to keep it simple and basic, making like a big pot of food that will I can just reheat for several days. And then another thing that I recommend you do is do not wait to grocery shop until you don't have any food left. If you're eating leftovers like this for several days, before you're done with the last day of food, make sure you go to the grocery store because it's much easier to go to the grocery store when you don't have to cook that night. Because I hate cooking after I've been to the grocery store. I don't know about you guys. I mean, if I can go in the morning, maybe a different story. But so yeah, tomorrow will be day 2. I'm not sure if I'll do a daily update, but I will try to get on every couple days. We've got a lot of backstory to cover in terms of who I am, why I'm doing this, what in the heck we're talking about. And then also like, just the regular stuff, keeping you updated of how I'm currently doing on my journey. So, journey to the healthiest version of myself. Uh, Looking for my soulmate. I don't know if that thanks, Sue. I don't know if kids are in the picture or plan for me on my master plan. Like, I don't know if the universe and God has that in store for me. But if it does, if it is, then I want to do everything I can now to be as prepared as possible and as healthy as possible. Plus, it is my goal to live to 100 and do yoga on the beach on my 100th birthday. So that starts with now. Like you got to act like you're going to be 100. So, um yeah, this is the Blooming Dough Flow podcast with Trista Custer, and uh I look forward to seeing you again soon. Okay, love you, bye.